Friends and my dear children, welcome to Pranab's classes on Modal Auxiliary Verbs Part 1. Before we go to the definition of Modal Auxiliary Verbs, first of all, I must request you all that you must understand the importance of Modal Auxiliary Verbs, how important they are while listening, speaking, reading and writing English language, and how important they are while using them in your school and college exams and in different competitive examinations. So in order to understand what is a modal auxiliary verb, let's go to some examples. You will see that a single modal auxiliary verb has been used in 7 sentences and how they have 7 different types of meaning in 7 sentences. You see, in sentence number 1, may I come in? We seek permission, we beg permission from a person by writing or speaking such a type of sentence. Sentence number 2, yes, you may come in. We allow, we give permission with such a type of sentence. Number 3, again the word may, modal auxiliary. It may rain today. We talk about the possibility of an action. Number 4, may God bless you. We give wishes, blessings to people by using may. May I have some water, please? We request people. You may not be allowed here, prohibition, also some type of order. Same may is used here. She eats that she may live, purpose. So the same modal auxiliary verb may, but you see that how they express 7 different types of meaning. So think about the importance of modal verb. Think about the importance of learning the use of modal verbs. So what is a modal auxiliary verb? It's a modality. Modal is an auxiliary verb that indicates modality. What is modality then? Seeking permission, giving permission, possibility, wishes, request, prohibition, purpose, or it may be ability, capability, order, offer, advice, obligation, suggestion, invitation. When we talk about, when we think to express such type of modality, sense, meaning, we use the auxiliary verbs. So, my dear friends, I don't think you will have any doubt behind the learning of modal verbs. So this is the what part and why part of the modal auxiliary verbs. As we have to use these modalities in our sentences, we have to learn the modal auxiliary verbs. Friends, before we go to the usage, form and structure of modal verbs, first of all, let's know the origin of modal verbs, which is very important. So friends, we shall start with the last word, verb. So earlier I have told you that verb is an action word, and when you think about the verb is divided into 2 classes. First, one is the main verb. It may be go, play, see. These are called the main verbs, and the next is your auxiliary verbs. And again, these auxiliary verbs, they are divided into 2 classes. One is the primary auxiliary, the other is the modal auxiliary or modal verbs. So this primary auxiliary, they are of 3 types. For example, first one is be, am, is, are. The past tense was, were. Then have, and the past form had. Then do, not I do the work. There do is the main verb. But here when you use do, does, did in changing the sentence present simple into interrogative, do you play cricket? No, she does not play cricket. Did you play with me? So these are the primary auxiliary verbs. And the most important thing, that is the second division of auxiliary verbs, is the modals. We may start them with a song like will, would, shall, should, may, might, and can, could. You can remember this with a song: will, would, shall, should, may, might, can, could. These are the 8, and next 2 are you called ought to and must. Actually, these 10 are called the modal auxiliary verbs, but there are 3 auxiliary verbs which are used as the modals. So they are called the semi modal auxiliary verbs. They are, we may write down, used to, need, and dare. So first 10 are called the modal auxiliary verbs, and these 3 are called the semi modal verbs. So in the very introduction, I told you, my dear friends, how the same word may, the modal auxiliary, has 7 different types of meaning in 7 different sentences. Be careful, my dear children. So before we go to the meaning of modal auxiliary verbs, let's see how these modal verbs are used. And the first and foremost use of modal verb is that they are always followed by the base form of the verb, the first form of the verb. Go, went, gone, go. I may go, not I may went. Let's see how we may divide them into 4 structures. I should write the book. So here should is the modal auxiliary verb and write is the first form of the verb. It is called the V1. Always, always. While making it into passive structure, for example, the book should be written or should be written by me. Again, the base verb after the modal auxiliary verb. And sometimes while referring to the past time, we may write I should have written the book. Again, you see the modal auxiliary verb is should, and after should we used have the first form of the verb V1. And while making it into passive structure also, the book should have been. The book should have been written by me, or you may write simply written. You may not also write by me. So here also you see the modal auxiliary verb and the first form of the verb have, had. Have is the base form or the first form of the verb. So in this way, remember, always we use the modal auxiliary verb being followed by the base form, the first form of the verb. And while making use of the modal auxiliary verbs, we have to remember that how we do have she plays, present indefinite or present simple third person singular number, the base verb plus s, es or is. She plays, don't use she mays. The modal auxiliary verbs don't have the s, es, ies form, my dear children. And when we say she played, she made, no, it's wrong. We cannot use this. Not she mays or not she made. There is no past form of modal auxiliary verbs actually. You may ask me, sir, in one of your classes you have told will, would, shall, should, may, might, can, could. Okay, in some cases we use the would as the past form of will or should as the past form of shall. But in some cases, not in all cases, but usually there is no past form of your modal auxiliary verbs. Also ing form. Suppose she is playing. We cannot say that she is maying like that. Okay, there is no ing form of the modal auxiliary verbs. Remember this. Friends, while making the present indefinite and past indefinite into interrogative negative, we use the do, does, and did. But remember, we should not use do, does, and did while making the modal auxiliary verbs into interrogative and negative. For example, I may write, you may write. I may write. Don't write do. Do I may write. It's wrong. It will be simply as I am going, am I going. In the same form, you may write here, may I write. Interrogative. Negative, I may not write. And sometimes also you see that we use to before and after the other verbs. But before and after modal auxiliary verbs, we never use to may or may to like that. To should or should to. I will can do this work. You must can complete the work. My dear friends, two modals never go together. We can never use two modals in a single sentence. Remember this. Two modals never go together. And next one is, there may be rain in the evening today. There is used as the preparatory subject in this sentence. Sometimes we may use there as the preparatory subject, and that may go with the modal auxiliary verb. But remember, usually may is followed by the be verb or be. So friends, finally we shall go to the contracted negative forms, where usually some students get confused, especially in writing these modal auxiliary verbs in negative form. We have to be very much careful. I have prepared a slide for you. Look at this. You will also take the screenshot of the same page. My dear friends and children, today in our class we discussed the most important part of the modal auxiliary verbs, how they are used in sentences, their form, their structure, the most important thing. And remember, in the next class, in the second part, we shall discuss the meaning, the sense of the modal auxiliary verbs. While introducing the modal auxiliaries, as I told you, the modal auxiliary may have 7 different types of sense or meaning in different sentences. The next class will be very valuable class. Don't miss this. We shall discuss in detail the usage or the sense and meaning of the modal auxiliary verbs. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Meeting in the next class.
Hello everyone. If you like Pranab sir's classes that you have seen just now, then please do like, comment and share and hit the subscribe button. Thank you.